The Odyssey of a Dominican man has lived as a nun for 22 years. Frank Tavares lived 22 of his 36 years in an identity that did not correspond to him. One day he could not take it anymore, and, on the verge of madness, Sister Margarita took off her habits. She left behind a pregnant novice and now faces the world as she believes she should, as a man. "Now I am happy, I feel free, because I have been able to open my heart," she told El País from Santo Domingo. Frank Tavares, the so-called nun man, has already digested being considered a phenomenon. In fact, he always has. First, when his virile member was so small that he couldn't even find it. Then, when he developed his power. "Since I was 13 years old, I have been very successful with women. They were looking for me. I'm not a homosexual. No way. And those who have wanted to test me have had a good response. It bothers me when they disrespect me," he says vehemently, although his voice sounds like a woman.
Hasta que en un accidente perecí y quedé yo apenas 4 años sin nadie.
If you are like this video, give me a like and leave me a comment. Continue. When Frank was 4 years old, he was involved in a traffic accident. He was badly injured, but his parents died. His grandparents were too poor and were not prepared to take care of me, he says, and some nuns took care of the child, who became one of the convent's inhabitants and identified totally with the life dedicated to God and to serving others. Frank Tavares looked like a girl, and the nuns treated him as such. "They gave me the name of Maria Margarita," says the former nun, but the doctor to whom he went bitten by doubts told him that he was not a hermaphrodite, that he was a boy, and not to worry, that with adolescence things would change. Although Tavares's head worked in feminine, his fellow novices soon discovered what was masculine hidden under the habits, and in the darkness there was sex. "In the light of the confessor it did not come out, we told it directly to God," says Tavares, although the nuns told him one day that this meringue with the sisters could not continue and that he should look for another convent, which he did. In the second convent, the sexual games continued, and there he met Silvia, the love of my life. For his friends and his 2 girlfriends, Tavares is Frank. On his identity card, he is Maria Margarita. "This name is a reminder of the suffering I had to go through," he explains. And, since leaving convent life in 1982, Tavares has not stopped recounting his odyssey of being a man in women's clothes. He told his story in Miami for the Telemundo network. He has also told it these days in Spain through Telecinco and Radio Nacional, but his greatest self-exorcism is a book he has published in the Dominican Republic, where he is so popular that it is not surprising that Juan Luis Guerra dedicated a merengue to him. Dancing merengue until dawn in the Salsadromos was one of the many things the former Sister Margarita learned as soon as she entered the secular scene. That was easy. The hard part was trusting people and coming to terms with the past. Because, in addition to the persecution of the family of her novices in love, one of them lives with her son in the United States. Frank Margarita says she suffered an attack of amnesia. "It was a medicine that found her diary. The doctors recommended that I publish it, and I will never tire of talking about my experience because it can help others," says Frank, who gives cheap meals in a small dining room next to the editorial office of El Sol, where he was a proofreader and workshop manager. "Ever since I learned to write, pencil and paper were my salvation and the newspaper my outlet. I felt trapped, even though I was surrounded by love. God has always helped me," says Frank. In the publishing business, he has not been very fortunate. Frank's problem is that he is very trusting, and many people have abused him, says Jorge Anton, a Dominican psychologist of Asturian origin who acts as Frank's literary agent. He says that, despite the fact that his book has sold like hotcakes in the Dominican Republic and has been tabloid fodder, he has only seen a few pesos. This is all for the moment. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are new to my channel, hit the like button, tell me what you thought of this story, and share it with all your friends. Remember, this is on the